This is Sean Sport in podcast form.
The only place to watch every game of every round live and ad break free during plays with Fox Footy on KO Sports, and you'll be able to see the smiling assassin Brad Johnson there. Jono, good morning.
Good morning, team. How are you today?
Morning. Yeah, wonderful.
How are you?
Very, very good, thank you. It's always great to speak to you guys.
Hey, Jono, I was looking on your Instagram. I think it came up yesterday. You were doing an on-ground interview, and it might have been at quarter-time, half-time, and there was a cameraman in the background who had a bit of a spill. Give us a rundown of that, please.
We didn't even know. Eddie and I were just sort of going about our business, doing a little bit of a cross, Eddie Betts, pre-game, and then all of a sudden, we see our cameraman's shoes sort of look up from behind. We thought, what's going on behind? We're just obviously very professional, as you know, and kept chipping away at what we were talking about. High level conversations around footy, and then obviously afterwards we see on socials ourselves that the cameraman had slipped over right in the perfect spot between our big melons. So it was. You got to wear the stops. The MCG was slippery.
Yeah.
There was a lot of rain in Melbourne.
It's a rookie mistake, mate.
Isn't it just?
I gotta love that too.
Yeah. Nothing quite like seeing somebody else fall over, is there?
I know, it's normally Natalie here.
Yeah. As the person who normally falls over, I see the funny side of it. You know what I mean?
Hey, tonight, Jono, there's a big game, obviously, between your team, the Dogs, trying to bounce back from last week up against Ross the Boss, and the Saints.
Yeah.
Good news with Sam Darcy coming back.
This is huge, isn't it, really? When you think 6 or 7 weeks ago, everyone thought his year was done with the injury that he sustained and a big hyperextension ACL, everyone thought. And he's got away with one here, Sam Darcy. So he's been able to recover really well. And I suppose we're all just looking for the early contest that he goes into tonight, and then just seeing, his confidence and how confident he is in it. And I'm sure Luke Beveridge wouldn't be playing him if he didn't see enough at training to go, you know what, this young man's ready to go. So it's been a big week for the club, with Bevo signing as well for a couple of years with an extension. So all positive news at the moment, but they must win their next 4 games, I think. They've got 4 winnable games coming up, the Western Bulldogs, and they need to win those because there's challenges underneath, and they want to play finals footy. They need to be on about 10 wins with about 6 or 7 to go. So it's a big month for the club.
Jono, is Bevo okay? He seems a bit grumpy this year, don't you reckon? It seems to be getting grumpier as the years go on. Is that fair?
Well, he wouldn't be grumpy this week because he just signed a big deal. So I'm sure he's all smiles this week. But that's just the pressure of footy, isn't it, really, in terms of expectation and playing good footy, and then having a couple of poor performances as well. And it's the fluctuations throughout the entire year. I think every club's had their moments, haven't they, this year, and every coach has had their moments, whether they've started poorly and coming good now, or started well and starting to fade a little bit as the winter months kick in. So there's a lot of challenges for these coaches in the back half of the year, and hopefully we can see more smiles than frowns as they go along.
Yeah, the interesting part to that as well, Nat, when you do, and mention Bevo, but Justin Longmuir was on the same thing. You're going to a press conference day in, day out, facing the same journalists generally, and 3 weeks ago, they're probably coming at you writing stories about how you're going to lose your job, should be out of it, can't motivate the players.
They're coming at it with a narrative that they want to write about too, aren't they? And then ask you questions to make you say things that will fit it.
Yeah, and then 3 weeks later, you've had a couple of wins under your belt, and it's like, oh, you've got a new contract, and isn't it great to have security and all this? And, oh, mate, Jono, I couldn't deal with it.
Oh, it's classic, isn't it? It really is. That's why you feel for him. And listening to, the Hall of Fame this week, which is fantastic, and hearing Gary Lyon had some chances to coach, and you can see why he didn't sometimes when you've got to just live the emotion of it all, and they try and stay level, the coaches, but we're all humans as well, you know what I mean? Yeah. So at the end of the day, when a lot of stuff's been written about you, positive or negative, you ride the wave a little bit with that, and they have to ride it more than anyone else.
Brad, did you ever have any feuds with journos or biffos or issues?
Do you reckon I've had a feud with anyone along the way?
Look at him, exactly. The happiest man in the world.
With journos, no, not really. But you have a lot of healthy discussions because they're pretty strong, obviously, in their opinions and thoughts on things, and they're getting what they consider the inside word a lot of the time as well. So, even with Ralphie and Dave Zeta, who do a great job on Fox regularly, with a couple of others as well. We have healthy debate around some of the things that we may be talking about, but But it never gets any more than that. Absolutely not. And while I was playing, no, because, you know, when you're having 30 and kicking 5 every week, it's generally usually pretty positive.
Yeah, I mean, it helps just to be great, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, that's it.
That's the answer.
I actually don't know any part of that, to be honest. Jono,
Sean's got a list. John knows what he's about to say. Yeah.
Jono, they're talking about Keziah Pickett signing on to Melbourne and being the longest-standing contracted player, $12.4 million. So,
wow.
It's a lot of cash. Now, can we just go back when you first started playing for the Mighty Bulldogs? What was your first contract?
Well, we started the same time, right?
Yeah.
So I'd love to sort of just compare what a Vic contract was to and whether they were the same or whether you got paid a little bit more.
No, I reckon you might have played maybe half a year before. I played my first game was 95.
Yeah, so I was 6 months before you. So my first contract was I got a base of $7.5 grand, which was first round draft pick, and then I got 250 a reserves game and 750 a senior game.
Wow!
And they paid for my private health insurance, which was really nice.
That is rough.
Yeah.
What was the first round draft pick?
Back then in 1994, private health insurance was about $50 a year. It's not like it is
Yeah, exactly.
today, so.
Hey, Jono, the first time I've told this story many times, but my contract was the same because Brad Weir always brings it up whether I got paid more than him or not. And you know what he's like with money.
And he'll be wrapped. You've just given him a mention too.
Yeah,
Don't worry
get on
about
your
that.
spew. He love you. When I first got down, apart from the pay, the best thing, the first day they walked down and walked into the club, when there was a guy from Nike there, and he said, going to try on some boots, right? So I picked a pair of boots, and I'd never have more than one pair of boots because your parents couldn't afford that.
No.
And he said, no, you can get some moulds and screw-ins, and I was like, oh my God.
2 pairs of boots?
Yeah, and I walked away with a pair of trainers as well. And then when I walked out after training, our property manager, Paddy Watson, he gave me a carton of Emu Export, which was like, I was the biggest hero you've ever seen. So what about freebies when you first walked out of the doggies?
Oh, yeah. Well, we had Deodora was our sponsor at the club at that time. So we had the Deodora, same thing, a couple of pairs of Deodoras and got the old school parachute tracksuit to go with it.
$12 million we got tracksuits.
But honestly, how good was it to walk out with a backpack full of gear on your first day at the footy club? So, yeah, it was fantastic. And they're the things that mattered, back then. To walk away with those little things was a huge win and loved every minute of it. Wouldn't change it.
Did you have the Dockers had a Yogo fridge. Did you have a Yogo fridge?
What fridge?
Yogos, like
I've mentioned it
yogurt.
many times.
Yeah.
Yogurt.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Oh no, we couldn't afford yogurt.
Mate, they're nearly out of the competition, the doggies.
Yeah, you should see how strong their bones are at the Dockers, though. Yeah.
Hey, Jono.
Strong calcium. No wonder they were always on the park and healthy.
Hey, Jono, I might be labouring on this a bit, but remember when you first walked into the change rooms, do you remember speaking to any of the senior players, and did you have a conversation with them, or did you just sit in the corner?
No, so when I first got to the club, I walked in at the same time as Doug Hawkins, right? So my first encounter was with the greatest Bulldog of all time.
Yes.
And he took me in because he was locker 7 and no one was in 6, right? So he sat me next to him in 6.
Yep.
And within 30 seconds, the team manager come over. He goes, "Nah, son, you're on the other side of the room." So I got shifted very, very quickly to the other side. And in all honesty, the senior players, because a lot of players, we had a lot of train-on players as well.
Yeah.
They didn't talk to you for 6 months until the list was sort of secure. You started to find your feet, and you were probably a young threat to them back in the day. So until they sort of worked you out, then they'd start talking to you and bringing you in. But it was cutthroat, and it was ruthless in the rooms. Don't worry about that.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
Love hearing these stories.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate your time, mate. We'll be watching the footy tonight. The Doggies up against the Saints. Thanks to KS Sports. Thanks for joining us, Jono. Always a pleasure.
All right, have a good morning, guys.
Cheers. Thanks, Ray.
Sean Sport in podcast form.
Just kicking off with some AFL to start with.
Kick it off. Kick off with the kick-off.
Kick it off.
Cosy Pickett has been in the news over the last couple of days. They're saying that he's going to sign with the Melbourne Football Club for like 9 years.
Everybody thought he was going to go to Fremantle.
He put his hand out. He was the one who...
he put his hand out, all right.
He did. He was saying, I want to go and be traded back to Fremantle, his home state, and that was nearly going to happen last year.
And they said, hey, how about this bucket load of money instead? And he said...
all of a sudden...
All right.
He has not signed the dotted line as it stands today, but they're all suggesting it will be done in the next couple of days. He's going to get paid $1.4 million over the lifetime of his contract.
A season, yeah.
I don't know if that's... Let's take it back. At the moment, guys are getting close to the real good guys, and he's absolutely up there.
So are you saying it's not enough?
I'm wondering if it's enough. Because who's to know what the salary cap's going to be in 5 years' time, in 7 years' time? It's like when you sell your house.
It's not indexed for inflation, is that what you're saying?
It may be. He may have that because I know some of the managers do put indexation in.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it ends up being at the end of his contract if it's going to... I mean, clearly he's going to get paid more at the end of his contract.
I mean, either way, it's going to be fine. We're talking about a lot of money here.
I know.
But you're saying that in 7 years' time, that will make him just an averagely paid player rather than top of the line.
Alistair Lynch, many years ago, when he signed a 10-year contract to play for Brisbane, it was $2 million. And at the time, everyone was blown apart. But when he was playing his last few years, probably 3 years, he was getting paid $200,000 when he probably could have getting paid $600,000.
Scotty Pippen's is what I'm just.
Scotty Pippen was the same. He wanted a long-term contract because he come from a poor family.
He needed the stability.
And he wanted the stability.
Yeah. And he
in
could
the
have
end, it was
made
embarrassing.
millions more. Yeah.
So he was getting paid double, say, I don't know, between $2 and $5 million when he would have been getting paid 30.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, he also...
How'd you play it, Ross? Are you looking for the long-term stability?
Absolutely. Yeah. Family.
Ross just wants to be allowed to come back next week.
I'm happy just to be here. Don't fire me.
People get paid for this?
Yeah. Changing pace. If you turned on to Prime last night, you would have been able to see the cricket live, which is Australia versus South Africa in the World Test Championship.
Yes, at Lords.
At Lords.
What, in Subi? Wow, that's awesome. That's my jam.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They're playing indoor, which is weird.
Yeah. I mean, all the traditional rules
live off the
stand.
nets.
Yeah. 1 out, 1 bounce. And Australia were batting first, and they got off to a terrible start. They were all out for 212. And Steve
Rabada
Smith
went straight through them.
Yeah, he did. Regis Rabada.
He's amazing. He's
Great name.
Yeah. I thought Australia just wiped South Africa off the park, to be fair, but
There's a fight on.
Yeah, there is a fight on, and thanks to Bo Webster, who hit in the 70s, and also Steve Smith was 66 or something. Otherwise, Australia hardly made a run.
Yeah, so the top order failed. So Aussie Khawaja Duck,
He can be like that.
I know.
Marnus was in the teens.
16 or something.
Yeah, 17, I think it was.
Cam Green, 4.
Cam Green.
That's
we put him in.
disappointing. I know.
The ball was moving around a fair
It was. And clearly, they were bowling really well. And also clearly it's a pitch that's got a bit of life in it because, our bowlers did very well when they got a crack at them too.
Yeah, 4 for 43 at stumps, the South Africans. Steve Smith, as I said, 66. This is what he had to say.
I think we're in a good spot. We probably had a few missed opportunities with the bat to try and get a bigger total, but I think the wickets offered something all day, as we've seen, and we're in a pretty good position, 169 in front. What are they, 4 down? We're in a decent spot. Hopefully it does a little bit in the morning like it did today, so could have been a better day, but we're still in a nice position.
Just quickly, we got a cough button on your mic, Sean.
Yeah, Sean, if you're going to cough...
Steve Smith.
Smithy coughing. Sorry, I should have edited that out, shouldn't I?
It's the way you could cough and talk at the same time. It's amazing.
Wow, Australia's greatest test player at this stage. Good time.
Is that it? Okay. Oh, you're done?
Check it out. I was turning on to Fox last night to watch it. It is difficult to find, but
because it's on Prime. Yeah. That's the thing. I don't think sport when I think Prime.
No, and if you're looking on Prime, check out Mobland. Very good show.
Yes, I'm in it.
Landman. It's in my top few.
Haven't got there yet.
And get your really fast Amazon delivery at the same time. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Sean Sport is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.